Hi, everyone. I did this yesterday and it cursed the video stream. This is a video recording of an audio podcast. So don't expect lots of like whiz-bang graphics flying in. Denise Howell's going to join me on the show today. I'm very excited about that. How's it going, Denise?
It's going really well. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you too. This is going to be really fun. So first time on Daily Tech News Show. Thanks for joining us.
It's my great pleasure. I hope it's not the last time.
Oh, it absolutely won't be. Hey, wait a minute. The stream just caught up with me over there. Okay. You ready for the actual show to start?
Ready for the show.
Show. Here we go.
When you want to support independent projects and artists and creativity, go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com.
This is the Daily Tech News for Thursday, May 1st, International Workers' Day 2014. I'm Tom Merritt. Joining me today, Denise Howell, legal expert and host of This Week in Law. How's it going, Denise? Good to have you on the show.
It's going fantastic. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry it took so long to get you on DTNS, but I love talking with Denise, not even just about legal stuff, but just about the way the internet works and policy in general. So I'm looking forward. We're going to have a little net neutrality conversation. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, let's get into the headlines first. TechCrunch reports Foursquare will split its app into two, not because they're Solomon and are trying to adjudicate something. Rather, they want to change the way this works. They're like, Foursquare, it's not just about checking in anymore. So the original Foursquare app will no longer have a check-in function. It will focus on discovery, exploration, and recommendations, kind of like Yelp. It will use geolocation to track where you go and how long you stay, so you don't need to check in. It just knows where you are. Kind of creepy. Also, the other app now that will have the check-in is going to be called Swarm. You'll be able to check in where you are on that. It will give you a heat map of like what places are hopping and the ability to see nearby friends, kind of more true to the roots of Foursquare. Swarm will also have a messaging feature so you can talk to friends if you're nearby. Boy Genius Report, which seems to have a never-ending supply of Amazon smartphone leaks, has another Amazon smartphone leak. This time it's a picture of the phone, and this time the phone is not hidden inside some kind of obfuscating protective case. Instead, multiple sources have verified to BGR that they have a real image of the design of the front and back of the yet-to-be officially acknowledged phone from Amazon, which is widely expected to launch in Q3. TechCrunch reports Snapchat added two new features today, a traditional chat-like interface that lets you talk in text in real time, just like text messaging. The other feature lets you make a video call from that text chat screen. You'll have to keep your finger on the screen to keep the video active, though, just like you have to keep your finger on the screen to play videos. Although the call will stay live even if you let your finger off. You'll just go to voice only. When you leave a call or chat and swipe back to the main screen, your chat history disappears in typical Snapchat fashion. The update should arrive for iOS and Android later today. You going to be using this, Denise?
Well, I'm a parent, and I think the message here is your move, parents, your move. And two more messages that Anthony Weiner was born too early. And also that people are going to think that these things are going to go away because that's what they're told by Snapchat. Maybe they're not.
Yeah, the text messaging part seems to be just them saying, oh, we know that people use Snapchat in this way already, so let's make it easier for them to do it. But yeah, the video calling thing, there's definitely going to be workarounds for recording that. So be advised. That's a good point. Vine has announced a redesign of its website, vine.co. The mobile 6-second video sharing app now has a robust desktop experience as well. In addition to a new look and a search engine, users can access trending tags and popular videos through an Explore page. Although watching a bunch of Vines in succession, I'll be honest, was not nearly as entertaining as watching one on its own. They take on a different meaning and they look a little weird next to each other. Microsoft has released patches for all supported versions of Internet Explorer to fix a nasty zero-day vulnerability that could allow attackers to get full control of your computer, especially if you're running in admin mode. In a surprise move, Microsoft issued patches for users of Windows XP. Microsoft officially stopped supporting the 12-year-old XP in April. We'd done a lot of speculation of what XP users were going to have to do when this patch came along. Well, Microsoft avoided it. They just said, you know what, we're going to give XP users a patch this time because it's so close to the end of support. But that meant that I didn't have to read all the emails of people telling me that only IE8 works on XP and not IE9, like I said the other day. Time for some news from you. spsheridan submitted our top story on the subreddit. Boy Genius Report passed along a Wall Street Journal story that tech companies like Google, Netflix, and Yahoo say they are considering mobilizing a grassroots campaign to rally public opinion around the idea that the internet's pipes should be equally open for all. Don't forget, last week, FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler admitted he will propose open internet rules that would allow for commercially reasonable prioritization of certain internet traffic. We're going to talk a lot more about this later, Denise. But is it really grassroots if Google and Netflix are behind it?
Well, I mean, you need someone to sort of kick things off and make sure that the public is aware. So, you know, if the public will get on board the way it did to defeat SOPA, then I don't think it matters who started it.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gearing up for something like that. But like I said, we've got more to say about that in a bit. Techie Noob posted all of the T-Mobile stories, it seemed like, 2 of them from Android Central today. For one, T-Mobile USA has acquired 700 megahertz spectrum from Verizon. That's going to help T-Mobile improve its LTE coverage here in the U.S. T-Mobile also published its Q1 earnings report. The good news in the earnings report is the company added 2.4 million customers, bringing it very close to third place, which is currently occupied by Sprint in the U.S. Bad news is it lost $20 million, mostly because of the cost of acquiring those customers, so long term that should pay off. In addition, Recode reports T-Mobile CFO Braxton Carter and marketing chief Mike Sievert say a potential merger with Sprint wouldn't be such a bad idea. It would allow them to become more disruptive and become like an uncarrier on steroids. Those are Carter's words, not mine. Habichuelacondulce submitted the CNET story that AT&T has raised the possibility of acquiring DirecTV, the satellite television provider, according to sources talking to Wall Street Journal. Apparently, AT&T started flirting with DirecTV in February in response to the potential Comcast-Time Warner cable merger. Of course, AT&T has allegedly flirted with Dish Networks before as well. Are they serious, or is this just a tease? They'll never tell. Until they file with the SEC, and then they'll be legally required to tell. But until then, we won't know. spsheridan spotted the Ars Technica story about Google Now for Android, helping you remember where you parked automatically. You don't even have to yell, remember where we parked, Google, or anything, using Android's activity recognition system to detect when you go from driving to stopping to walking. Google Now notes the GPS location of the stopping part. Of course, if you're in a multi-level garage, you still need to remember what floor you're on.
So I'm hoping that Google will take a page from Snapchat on this one and perhaps not save those records indefinitely.
Yeah, that's a good point. We want to know, you know, they're just saving them locally. They don't need to save them everywhere, just locally. But if Google Now's got it, that's in the cloud.
Yep.
Yeah. MikePKennedy submitted the Verge story that Amazon has admitted it has been offering same-day delivery service to San Francisco and Dallas since earlier this year. They made the announcement today. Everybody's like, oh, they're bringing the service to San Francisco and Dallas. And then Amazon was like following up with all these blogs saying, we've actually been doing this since January. We just announced it today. Anyway, don't you feel better not hiding that anymore, Amazon? That's good. Other same-day markets got their deadlines pushed a little earlier, or I'm sorry, a little later in the day, which is good. So folks, say in Indianapolis, now have until 11:30 a.m. to make their orders, not that ungodly 7 a.m. deadline they've suffered under until now. Although the bad news for Las Vegas, which is losing its same-day service. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose your same-day service, Vegas. And New Yorkers now have to make their orders 30 minutes earlier to qualify. Stop your whining, New Yorkers. Just get up early and make your orders. Jeez.
So this is Amazon Fresh we're talking about?
This is Amazon same-day delivery products. So it's not just Amazon Fresh. It's you can filter by what actual products are available to you. So it's not going to be everything you order on Amazon, but certain stuff, if you order it before 11:30 in Indianapolis, you get same day.
Very cool.
If it was like, you know, blue jeans, and I'm like, oh, I want those new jeans. And because I ripped a hole in my jeans. I speak from experience because I ripped a hole in my jeans last Friday and I ordered new jeans and they didn't come till yesterday. So it would have been nice to have same day delivery for those. Beatmaster 80 pointed us at the Ars Technica story about ZeniMax Media, the parent company of id Software, and John Carmack's old employer, alleging that Carmack is a thieving little thief. Actually, that's not what they said. ZeniMax alleges that technology Carmack developed while he was still at ZeniMax was the genesis of what would eventually become the Oculus Rift development kit. Carmack left ZeniMax-owned id Software in November. Carmack tweeted in response, quote, "No work I have ever done has been patented. ZeniMax owns the code that I wrote, but they don't own VR." Do I have to disclaim again that they really didn't say he was a thieving little thief? Is that...
Nope, you're good.
Okay, I'm good. And that's a look at the headlines. Hey, those of you at the LA meetup may have met Matt Flanagan, a.k.a. the guy who bought the pizza. He's also the husband of our producer, Jenny. Matt's also the guy you may not have known who wrote 700 jokes for the Thankopolis earlier this year, where we thanked all of our patrons. So how do you think a guy who buys pizza and writes jokes for thank yous? Let me tell you how. You watch Bad Teacher tonight on CBS at 9:30. Matt wrote on the show this season and would deeply enjoy the chance to write for it again next season. So watch it, tweet about it with the hashtag Bad Teacher. And for the cord killers among you, full episodes will be available Friday morning at cbs.com/shows/bad-teacher/video. We'll have that link in the show notes as well. Good luck, Matt, with the second episode. I'm rooting for you.
I haven't seen Bad Teacher yet. Is it premiering tonight?
No, it was premiered last week, and it got decent enough ratings, but I guess the make or break is how it does the second week, right?
Okay.
So you can catch up.
Definitely.
And then watch it tonight.
We'll do that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this. The top of our subreddit today was this Wall Street Journal article about Google and Netflix getting in on the side of the FCC. Obviously, they're waiting and probably until May 15th when the actual notice will be presented to the committee, and the FCC will vote on putting the notice out there for official public comment. But they've already made comments available. If you go to fcc.gov/comments, and thanks to I don't remember who on our subreddit submitted this. I'll find that out in a second. But you will see Proceeding 14-28, Protecting and Promoting the Open Internet, is available for public comment. Denise, that's kind of unusual.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely cart before the horse. It would be nice for law professors and others who really want to get into the nitty-gritty of all of this to be able to know what they're actually commenting on. But, you know, I guess that's just fluff.
Well, right. I mean, and thanks to Andrew Boudreau. He's the guy who posted it up on the subreddit for us. We know what Wheeler said, right? He laid out the three principles about discrimination and blocking, and the fact that he would allow commercially. Why do I keep saying that? Commercially reasonable prioritization, and of course he's had to backtrack. Actually, he hasn't backtracked, but he's had to do a lot of explaining since then. And I guess that's what they're asking people to respond to is that posting, because it was a posting on the FCC's website.
Yeah, exactly. There's a blog post that gives us a bit of insight. There's something that was leaked to the Wall Street Journal that I don't believe anybody's seen the full text of. So it's a very strange situation to be in, to be commenting on something that's not actually available for public comment yet.
Right. So you're commenting on, that's all right. You're commenting on a blog post and a leak to the Wall Street Journal, which is not a lot to go on. But you also have these other statements that Wheeler has made recently, I think in an effort to win over the net neutrality proponents. He was speaking to the cable industry at the Cable Industry Show yesterday and said, and we mentioned this on the show, "I have said before that I believe the FCC has the power, and I intend to exercise that power to preempt state laws that ban competition from community broadband." So he's trying to win over those folks on the municipal broadband front to say, you guys have been suffering with all these lobbyists trying to get rules. There's 20 states with some kind of restriction against municipal broadband. I'm going to overrule all of those rules. Is that sound plausible, Denise?
I don't know how much success that the FCC will have. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Of course, you know, federal government being able to tell the states what to do is sort of a hot button issue. But the federal government here may well have jurisdiction over such an important competitive interstate concern.
I was going to say,
and you're right. It's a good bone to throw the proponents of net neutrality, because the more competition there is in broadband, the more opportunity there will be for services to be out there that are not, giving sweet deals to certain broadband internet video providers, for example. So it's a good step toward helping competition.
And that's my big bugaboo, is that's the entire problem to me, is that we don't have competition, and that's what the conversation should be about entirely. But for the moment, that's, even though Tom Wheeler's out here saying that yesterday, that's not his proposal. He's promising something here, but that's not an official thing. He hasn't taken any of that action. He could have taken that action previously, but he hasn't. Mm-hmm. So, okay, let's put that off and say, I'll believe it when you do it. He's also saying about the commercially reasonable prioritization. He said prioritizing some traffic by forcing the rest of the traffic into a congested lane won't be permitted under any proposed open internet rule. He also said our goal is rules that will encourage broadband providers to continually upgrade service to all. So he's like, we're trying to improve the service. We're not going to let them just let one of the lanes go to waste, because that's what some people say, like, great, you make a commercially reasonable discrimination lane and then you just never upgrade the other one. He's saying, I'm not going to let that happen. But how does he have the ability to stop that if somebody's like, well, I just can't afford to upgrade that side of it?
Well, I mean, they're gonna just have to watch and see if things look like favoritism is coming into play. I think that's really what commercially reasonable is going to come down to, is if you have some sort of vested interest in encouraging one company over another, other than the fact that they're paying you, which of course creates a vested interest right there. But if there's something over and above that is not transparent, that's a big thrust in Wheeler's blog post, is they're going to have to disclose all these arrangements. But if there's something out there that, such as Comcast and NBC Universal, for example, if it looks as though NBC Universal is getting a better deal than somebody else, then that certainly would be something I would expect the FCC to curtail.
So then my response is, and you may be absolutely right about that, what do we do about the people who haven't started yet, right? Let's say that Comcast says, no, we're not going to give a greater deal to NBC. We're going to have a very reasonable charge for prioritization of video service, and Netflix is paying it, Hulu's paying it, Amazon's paying it, Vudu, which is owned by Walmart, is paying it. See, we're being totally commercially reasonable, but all of a sudden, a bunch of startups that were thinking about getting into the video industry, little things like QPlay that are out there right now, or Pluto.tv, suddenly just say, forget it. We can't get our stuff to work because we can't afford that fee that is commercially reasonable.
Right. I don't think there's a good solution for that. I don't think consumer protection laws step in to help that out. I don't think antitrust laws step in to help that out. And I think that is a big problem, that small businesses stand to be harmed by these internet fast lane deals.
He even said yesterday, let me be clear, if someone acts to divide the internet between haves and have-nots, talking about Wheeler again here, we will use every power at our disposal to stop it. I consider that to include Title II. That's classifying internet as telecommunications instead of information. Just because it is my strong belief that following the court's roadmap will produce similar protections more quickly does not mean I will hesitate to use Title II if warranted. Well, pretty much everyone agrees that the aim he's saying he wants would arrive if he reclassified the internet. If he's threatening to do it anyway, why doesn't he just do it?
Yeah, I don't know that it would be as easy as it's not just a question of Tom Wheeler changing his mind and reclassification happening.
Didn't Janikowski try that?
Yeah. And I think, it's kind of a political hot potato. There are a lot of reasons why the ISPs don't want to be under Title II. But again, this notion of creating more competition, and maybe we have some actual ISP choice out there, maybe the smaller companies, that's where they could go for their distribution. Again, in a in a world where the market is, as a practical matter, dominated still by the big ISPs, I don't know if that really solves the problem.
Yeah, he said competition, competition, competition is our refrain, but that doesn't seem to be the case in what they're actually proposing, what they're actually doing. But folks, if you have thoughts now, Denise and I have tried to set the table for what the issues are here and what the FCC might say to you in response. Go to fcc.gov/comments. I still recommend waiting until May 15th until you actually can see the order and respond to it. But it can't hurt to do it at both times. Do it once now, once then. And they've made it open for comments. Denise, what do you think is the best way to respond to this?
There's also an email address, and I believe, I don't have it up in front of me, but I believe it's open internet at fcc.gov, so that's another way to provide feedback about this. I think it's a really important issue. I do think that getting the word out to beyond people who think about the internet every day to people who use the internet every day, and that's everyone, right? Once people realize that this is going to impact what potentially they see, how well their experience is seeing it, and what they pay for it, it is, I think, going to be really critical. And it's not a partisan issue here at all. So I think those are the common threads with the experience we had with SOPA, and so we may well see the FCC and the members of our legislative branch getting a lot of feedback on this.
So check it out, fcc.gov/comments, open internet at fcc.gov, and we'll keep an eye on any further responses that come along. Meanwhile, in the nearer term calendar, today, May 1st, and tomorrow, May 2nd, the 99U conference in New York will try to fill your gaping desire for more TED-like experiences. The conference is hosted by Behance, the online creative portfolio site, and will feature speakers from Facebook, Basecamp, and the Detroit Bus Company, among others. Videos of the talks will be posted. I guess their talks can be considered at 99u.com/videos. Also, today, 50 years ago, the first BASIC program ran in a Dartmouth basement. It was meant to help with a time-sharing system that was going on at Dartmouth. But happy 50th birthday, BASIC. I guess you could do 10 print equals happy birthday, 20 go to 10. There you go. It's the simplest birthday program I could think of. Our pick of the day comes from me. It's Thursday, so I'm going to do my pick of the day. Jenny and I are going to try to do a pick every week, but we still want your picks, so email them to feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. We love getting those. My pick of the day is Waze, W-A-Z-E. It's Google-owned now, and it still works fine, so I'm going to keep recommending it until it stops working for me. But let me tell you, moving to a new place, which I did a year and a half ago now, trying to get around is a nightmare, especially in a place with as much traffic as Los Angeles. Waze is killer in that kind of situation because it not only helps you figure out how to get from one place to another, but it takes into account traffic patterns being reported by other Waze users, and you can actually route around it. I've learned all kinds of new routes, the best ways to get from one place to another, and it's like butter. Like you see a packed freeway and you're like, crap, what do I do? And Waze is like, get off here, now go down this road, go down there. Can cut your time in half. So absolutely recommend it. There's also a bunch of gamification if you're into that. There's leaderboards. You can change the voice to Elvis. There's all kinds of other cool stuff in there. But really just the practical reason of getting around traffic, WAZE.com. Denise, you just use the car navigation, huh?
I do use the car navigation. I was unaware that your pick was going to be Waze, though, and you're right. When the car navigation falls down when it comes to you've got to get off here to avoid, at least mine does, to avoid the huge pileup in front of you. And I think it's so cute, Tom. You've officially become a Southern Californian. You've discovered Waze and how it helps you around all the god-awful traffic. So,
you don't even know. Like when you hear me doing a conversation where like, well, I was going to take the 10 to the 405, but it told me to get off on Centinela instead. Well, it's Bundy there, and I got off into Bundy, and then it took me like, that's what I sound like a California.
It's like a SNL skit.
Absolutely. And then I even end up in Marina Del Rey.
Right.
Yeah. So check it out, waze.com. We have all our picks at dailytechnewsshow.com/picks. Finish up with a couple of emails here. Andy from Michigan writes, I'm wondering if it would work for Amazon to set up a similar plan to how Audible works for Comixology. Did you hear this Comixology story, Denise?
No, fill me in.
So Amazon bought Comixology, which is the most popular way to read comics on tablets. It's Android and iOS. It's super popular on the iPad, though. And they had a store in the app, right? So it was like really, really dangerous to be sitting there like 99 cents. I think I'll buy another comic, read it. I want the next one in that series, 99 cents. I'll read it. Well, Amazon has taken the store out of the app because they don't want to pay the 30% to Apple. And people are livid. So Andy's suggesting, like, what if they do what Audible does? You pay a certain amount and get credits. When you open the app on your iPad, you see a little notice at the top telling you how many credits you have available. If you don't end up using your credits, they just stay in your account until you want to use them. There's a limit on them, but it's like a year or more. If you need more, just buy a few or up your subscription to a higher tier. I can't really see any downside to this, as Amazon gets a steady stream of subscription model and they can just borrow the know-how from the Audible team.
Yeah, but that doesn't really work in Audible. I use Audible all the time, and I use it on iPhones. And you still have to leave the app and go to the browser to redeem your credits and buy a new book. It doesn't work that way on Android, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And Comixology on Android also still has a store built in where you can shop from within the app. So I've just started using Comixology on my Nexus 7, even though it's a smaller screen, because that's going to be easier. But you're right. The idea, the big downside to me with Comixology is it gets rid of that serendipity, that ability to just discover an independent comic because you're right there and you're like, oh sure, 99 cents, why not? When you have to think about, oh, do I have credits? And then I also have to go to the website, go to Safari or whatever to buy it. I think you're right, Denise. It's a cool idea from Andy. And it would be a nice like option to have.
Yep.
Like
It doesn't, unfortunately, end run Apple's whole 30% regime.
Good try, though.
Yeah.
Good thought. JBH wrote in and said, regarding things getting even more confusing with Hulu free versus Hulu, Hulu announced they're going to have some free episodes showing up on the mobile app for your phone starting this summer. JBH says, I think a great example of how to do free and premium streaming model is anime streaming service Crunchyroll. With a free account, you can watch new episodes a week after they air, recent last few years complete series with ads on the website, no browser restrictions. You just have to have Flash, smartphones or tablets. So there you go. You don't have to pay a thing. You just watch some ads. You get new episodes a week after the air and recent complete series with ads. With a premium account, you can watch all available episodes ad-free on any device, including TV-connected device like the Apple TV, the Xbox, and the PlayStation, as well as mobile or web. There are licensing restrictions that mean some series are unavailable in certain countries, but none of the weirdness Hulu is doing with the multiple splits between free and plus and web/devices/mobile and region restrictions. Incidentally, since the day that Crunchyroll was added to the Apple TV, my Japanese studying and comprehension have skyrocketed, but everything else has gone downhill. I do like that. That's pretty elegant the way Crunchyroll does that.
Sounds very cool.
I'm just trying to figure out, though, you can't get the free on the Apple TV app, right? You can only get it on the smartphone or tablet, and then you have to AirPlay it. But that's okay. It seems a little weird to restrict the Apple TV and the Xbox. Like, why not just make it some limited episodes and commercials, or you pay and you get no commercials and more episodes? That's the part that makes sense to me. And Hulu does like almost the opposite. They're all over the place. So Crunchyroll's a little closer to it. Thank you, JBH. Appreciate that. And thank you, Denise Howell. This has been really fun chatting with you again.
It's been so fun chatting with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Folks, if you want to keep up on those net neutrality type issues, copyright type issues, anything around like what is the law and what should be the law and beyond, you got to check out This Week in Law. twit.tv/twill, TWIL. You guys still on Fridays?
We are Fridays at 11 Pacific.
Fridays at 11 Pacific. You can watch live or just subscribe to the podcast. Anything coming up in particular you want to let folks know about?
We've got Bruce Schneier on the show this week. Yeah, I know. Good get. And Kyle Courtney, who is copyright counsel for the entire Harvard University library system.
Oh, wow. Another good get. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Check it out, twit.tv/twill. And thanks to all of the patrons in the audience, folks who help keep this show on the air, on the wires. If you have Wi-Fi, we're definitely on the air. 3,854 of you are in there, and the number keeps going up. I really appreciate that. I'm totally stunned with the number of people who are willing to help out and make this show happen. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go to bit.ly/helpdtns or patreon.com and search for Tom Merritt, and you'll see Patreon, what their deal is. We just ask 5 cents a show, $1 a month. If you feel the show's worth that, and if you can help us out, we appreciate it. And that's my show for today. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Don't forget, folks, that you can have a voice in what stories we cover at dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. You can email us, feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. Give us a call, 512-59-DAILY, 512-593-2459. And listen to shows live at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 Pacific at mobile.alphageekradio.com. Darren Kitchen tomorrow.
This podcast is part of the Frog Pants Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio program so good, it's like you're there.
Almost right out of time there.
That old-timey radio thing is hysterical.
Oh, yeah, I love that. That's we've been using that. Scott's been using that for Frog Pants for years now, too. Yeah. Well, that was cool. Thank you again, Denise.
Thank you. Really fun.
Good. I'm glad. We'll definitely have you back whenever we can.
Good. And can you come back on Twill soon?
Absolutely. Let me know
All
when
right.
when you'd like me on.
All right. I'll have San get in touch.
All right.
Be on the old schedule.
Friday. Now, when you guys still run just an hour, right?
No, it's like an hour and a half, almost 2.
It starts to butt up against, because I have this at 1:30, but
right.
we'll figure it out. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Good. Of course, we can always let you go. Bruce Schneier's only going to be on an hour this week. So.
Yeah, but I'm not Bruce Schneier. I'd let Bruce do whatever
few of us are.
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna. Jenny's gonna hang around. We just chat with the audience and stuff, and produce the show. But you can take off whenever you need to.
Great. I have to go let the dog out of the bedroom.
Yeah. Okay.
She's been banished.
Thanks, Denise. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Need some titles.
Yep. Titles.
I'm levelating.
So that sounded pretty good. It didn't. It just brought you up a little bit, and that helped.
And that was enough.
Yeah.
But the gain is so far up. There's something fishy.
Something's going on.
I know there's something going on. Dun, 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 dun. At least the video
Thanks for that awesome bad teacher plug, by the way.
Oh, sure. My pleasure.
That made me very happy.
Oh, good. I hope it helps.
Boy, do I hope it helps.
Thieving little thief. Well, I've got double disclaimer on it, so we could probably.
That's one of those things that just like.
That one doesn't worry me for some reason. I don't know why. Cormac thieving little thief would worry me.
Yeah.
But sort of just putting thieving little thief and the fact that we have the joke in there and we make it clear, I feel like it's okay. Oh, Snapchat.
How about Amazon does Dallas? Love it.
We didn't really talk about it very much.
I don't care. Anytime you can reference
Debbie.
Yep.
That's so old though. That's your and I generation. The kids won't get it.
It's okay. I don't think do we have kids in our audience?
Probably not.
We have college kids. I'm pretty sure someone told them about that movie.
We have perennial students maybe.
True. I think you have. Wait, hey chat room. How many of you in the chat right now are in college in some capacity?
Everyone in the chat room, state your name, age, and social security number.
Just general, like who's in college still. I feel like I've seen people reference classes.
Yeah, first of all, we just had somebody on the Crunchyroll, JHB, today. Yep. Email her. I know there's something going on.
How about, let's see, was there a net neutrality centric title?
Yeah, we've had a lot of those
lately.
Amazon does Dallas. My only reservation there is really the fact that we didn't talk about it that much. But it's good. And then Thieving Little Thief.
How about Foursquare times 2 equals? That would be one.
But we didn't talk about that one either.
Well, it's in the headline.
Yeah.
It was the #1 headline item of the day.
It was the top story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You just don't want to do Thieving Little Thief.
No, I have weird issues there.
I know there's thieving little thieves. Look, the lawyer said it was okay.
That's true. We've been lawyer vetted and lawyer.
She wasn't practicing as a lawyer at the time, so I'm not sure.
Now you need another. Now you need another hedge.
I keep seeing it. I keep seeing Thieving Little Thief in the chat room, which is starting to make me think it's popular. But then I don't know if I'm just seeing Christmas repeating it.
No,
Gordon McLeod seconded it.
Yeah, all right, fine. I give up. I have no power against this.
And 40 Thieves was the one who I saw first said it.
The chat has voted.
The people have spoken, Jenny. What am I supposed to do?
I feel like there's a Lord of the Rings reference in there. What does Gollum call Bilbo?
Sneaking.
He calls him a thief too.
Oh yeah.
But I think Thieving Little Thief is what was said, so it is what is happening.
I wrote, yeah. Sneaking.
Did we all see Molly Wood's great article about cell phone call quality in the Nuevo Yorko Times today?
No, I did not.
Yes, everybody who likes Molly Wood, please go read that article and send supportive comments because it's a nice, hefty think piece. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah. That should have really been the plug. If it wasn't Thursday, that should have been the plug of the day.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That would have been a nice plug of the day. So, we should in the habit actually, because she's always got something on Thursday. So we should always do a Thursday
plug. Well, we had to do Bad Teacher today.
This is the important week to do Bad Teacher.
You win. You win that battle.
After that, we've got to start plugging the Mollywood pieces. Yeah, and her videos have been great. The one that she did comparing Google Now and Siri and Cortana was terrific. So go check those out too, please.
And then we can say, if you would like more Mollywood, check out it'sathing.me.
Wait, Cube says he's in college and graduating tomorrow.
What?
Congratulations on your graduation and also being graduated, whichever is correct.
It's a gradual process.
It's a gradual gradation?
Yeah.
From graduated to graduation?
That seems early, but I guess it's May now, so it's going to start. 1st of May.
Did you see Did you see that President Obama got in on the NSYNC meme that always goes around in May 1st?
No.
Oh my God.
I did not see that.
I'm finding it. It was on his Facebook page. Thanks, Obama, for not putting it on Twitter.
I'm starting to get tired of not just presidents, but like prominent politicians getting in on memes.
Memes, yeah.
It started with Clinton and the sacks, right? Actually, it kind of started with Dukakis and the tank by accident, but it was really like when Clinton did the sacks on Arsenio, it was like, whoa, candidate playing this. That's cool. I don't know. Maybe I just started noticing it. Probably campaign people were doing it before then. I was too young to think it was cool or something. But
yeah, I think a president can get in on a meme if it's a meme about the president, and they're making, they're either joining in on the joke or making a meta commentary on it. But you're right. Just latching on. SNL did a sketch about that didn't quite like land, but they were basically like doing selfies with the president and like every single famous person that they had someone to imitate.
Yeah, like I guess that thing I tweeted the other day about President Bush the First, George H.W. Bush with his socks, like that's smart. Like he's got his own little sock meme going on there.
Yep.
That works to me. But just kind of right.
That's his deal. He had the socks.
Right.
If you don't remember, there was a George Bush before the other George Bush.
I remember. He's my favorite George Bush.
Well, we have college kids in the audience. We got to take care of them.
That was the Dukakis Bush was the first election I ever voted in. 1988.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some stuff. Let's see. Oh, Eat Khalif. Bad teacher lacked Cameron Diaz car washing scene. I know, but you can only go to that well once, I feel like.
Yeah, you can't compare. That's like saying...
Yeah.
Well, the MASH, the television series, only had Gary Berghoff. Everything else was different.
Yeah. Yeah. I have high hopes. I'm super excited for the Mark Cuban cameo, which is coming.
Frank Sinatra sang the song "High Hopes" for John F. Kennedy as part
of his
campaign.
There you go, full circle.
Right.
From Cameron Diaz, the bad teacher, to President of the United States of America, and Frank Sinatra.
I bet President Kennedy would have really liked Cameron Diaz.
I agree. I suspect also. Yeah. Yahoo. Oh boy.
Yeah, I thought about putting that one in, and then I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big to like scramble and add it at the last minute.
Yeah.
But it's. I don't think people care about that do not track stuff anymore. They kind of forgot it exists.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I saw it and I was like, I don't think so.
Now watch it blow up into this big controversy on the internet.
Sure.
I'll be kicking myself for not adding it.
Because that would be my kind of day. I've already had my kind of day. Oh wait, do we have a title yet? We did. We went with Thieving Little Thief.
Yep.
Okay.
It's being uploaded right now. So today, do you know that May 1st is Labor Day everywhere in the world but the United States, even though it is on May 1st because of things like the Haymarket Rebellion that happened in and around May 1st?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do, but God forbid we should have anything even approaching socialist in our country.
Well, it was a mistake in the anti-communist days of the 20s. Apparently, I was reading, Quinn Norton has a great article on Medium about this. It was apparently a mistake where they misunderstood what the Soviets were doing and thought that the Soviets were taking over May 1st, so they changed May 1st to be like Americanization Day or something.
Oh, geez.
And that's when May 1st stopped being celebrated as Labor Day in the U.S. They moved it to August and everything. But it turns out the Soviets weren't celebrated. They celebrate their Revolution Day like in the fall because it was an October Revolution.
They even named it that.
Yeah.
That there would be no confusion.
Oh, well.
Oh, it's, hold on, I'll write it down for you. No, don't say them out loud. Hold on, get me a piece of paper, I'll write it down.
What's your social?
Yeah.
What's your bank account?
I'll show you. No, just come here, I'll show you. Don't say it out loud.
You're on the internet.
You're on the live internet.
We have all the bitcoins.
Just here we are. Here we're having a lesson in routers. Go to this one.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it asks you to enter the long, complicated, very secure password that I just created. Okay, here we go. This has been This Day in Routers.
Right. I don't know why you chose Ask Woman 349.
Bye. Welcome to Living with Matt Flanagan.
Oops.
Whoops. Gotta change the password.
Oh, and it was the only one you were sure you'd remember.
I know. Damn it. Oh, Flanagan. There we go. I also sent out the wrong link to YouTube today. I mean, I really just hit the trifecta of like big fat mistakes today.
You're in router cloud space though. That's that's a horrible headspace to be in.
Horrible feeling, because the problem is that I understand the basic technology.
Mm-hmm.
So if it all works, I get why it works, and it's all supposed to be plug and play. God forbid it doesn't work. I would have nowhere to go but Tom Merritt. Like, I would have made you stop the show and be like, you need to fix my router. Because, like, I don't have anywhere, because it's not Time Warner's fault my router doesn't work.
Because it's not their router, yeah.
Hardware.
You're not one of those people calling Time Warner, like, my computer doesn't work. Like,
yeah.
It's not like that.
No, I did. You know what? I did call them with the full knowledge, and I just said, listen, please, I'm on the internet on a show in half an hour. I know this isn't your problem. Will you help me? And they did.
But getting the settings, the settings to connectors there, that's perfectly legit to ask them that.
I won't go into the details because they're so shameful, but, like, I will, because I will just be normal American human. But, like, what normal American human did today was, like, panicked on the phone with Time Warner because I couldn't get the computer to connect to the new router because my, for some reason, like, the Ethernet and then the adapter to URL doesn't work, so, like, my wired connection just doesn't work. Doesn't work. Don't know why. That's a whole separate problem.
Yeah.
Like, how was I supposed to connect to the wireless router without it? And then what it really came down to was that I hadn't selected the wireless router.
Oh.
Like, it was so simple.
Yeah.
That I was like 7 steps beyond in Panicville about Mac, blah blah blah, and it was just like I hadn't picked a router.
Do you have one of those Thunderbolt Ethernet adapters? Is that
I don't. That will be the thing I'm getting next.
Oh, okay.
Because the USB one, it just doesn't like go live anymore. I can't figure out why. So that's the next step will be a Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
But you know what? Could we all just stop making computers that don't allow you to plug the Ethernet in? Like laptops?
No, it's going the other way, unfortunately. It's like, oh, you don't need Ethernet jacks anymore. And we who do video are like, yes, we absolutely need Ethernet jacks.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to keep iterating and iterating and iterating, that's fine. Please iterate from the router to the computer.
But you know what? It saves you a lot of space in making those thin, sexy laptops when you don't have to support an Ethernet jack.
I totally agree. But, like, let's just all talk and let's just all make all the things fit. How about that?
Yeah, that's a lovely thought. I mean, there are a lot of standards. The IEEE exists for just that sort of thing, and that's why we have USB, because people did talk. But
how many times have I gone to be like, oh, my wireless has a crisis?
Actually, the real answer here is your problem is you're buying a Mac.
Yeah.
You need to buy a ThinkPad or a Linux machine from System 71. You can get an Ethernet jack.
People aren't wrong, but I think it's like once you switch, you can switch systems like once in your life as a normal, and you just don't want to do it a third time.
No, I know. It's a pain. It's a pain to go for. I live in all the OSs, so I understand that pain daily, actually. Like, if you just live in one and you never go to the other, it becomes incredibly confusing.
And, like, I have enough institutional history with Windows to be able to go back and forth with relative ease. Not that I do. But, I'll never go to Linux. I'll never, unless,
Never say never.
I know, I'll never say never, but it would have to basically mimic.
Is that a challenge?
Front-end user, yeah, I know. Front-end user-friendly.
You heard her, chat room.
I know. Will Jenny ever go Linux?
You have a task. You have a goal.
You have a task. Let's see, what else is going on today?
I'm getting a haircut.
Whoa.
Getting them all cut.
Whoa. All right. Don't do anything drastic.
No. I'm just going to tell her. This is what I tell her every time I go. cut it as short as you possibly can so that I don't have to do anything in the morning and it looks good.
Yep. Yep.
And then she's like, okay.
Do you go to a Floyd's or do you go to a Supercuts?
I do. I go to a Floyd's. You know,
Floyd's,
it's because it's right down the street. It's like a 5-minute walk from my house.
Challenge accepted. Uh-oh. Here we go.
There you go. TVZ gone. It's on the case. Metal freaks in too. He's like, why not?
See, yeah, then live with the decisions Apple makes for you. And that is absolutely true because I don't like a lot of those decisions, and yet I like their...
Mm-hmm.
I have never... Well, I'm not even going to say it because then I'll have to knock wood, then I'll have to get up, then it'll be a thing. But the Floppy. Let's see. DOJ says eBay must end no poaching pacts with other companies. I thought they did.
Yeah, that story broke earlier today. I don't know why that's buzzy on tech memes all of a sudden.
Maybe because one of them didn't agree? By the way, today is a Captain Kirk day here with the water. Every day I have to decide, am I Kirk, am I Spock, am I Scotty, or am I Bones?
Set phasers on fun.
I know. And I have all the Marvel glasses too, and Beatles glasses. So every day it's like, who am I today? Usually I'm George.
We have True Blood glasses and Doctor Who glasses, and then the rest of them are blank.
That's awesome.
We actually have a complete set of CNET Networks / CBS Interactive beer glasses from 2004 through 2010.
Oh, I have Yahoo Oktoberfest glasses from 2010 to 2013.
It's the Oktoberfest glasses, yes,
Oktoberfest.
exactly.
So I was at Yahoo for 3 steins.
I was at CNET for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for 7 steins.
7 steins. That's a lot.
That's a
cool
long
way
time.
to say how long you've been in an internet company.
How long were you in CNET? 7 steins.
I was only Yahoo for 3 steins, but they were good 3 good steins.
It was only 6 years, but 7 steins.
Yeah. No, we only got 1 stein a year.
We only got 1 stein a year too, but the way the months fell.
Right.
I started in July, so I got that early stein, and then I quit in May. So didn't quite make it to the 7th year, but 6.5 years.
Steins is somewhat an accurate measure of
It's basically saying how many autumns you spent there.
Right. I have spent 3 autumns.
I have seen 7 autumns.
I will talk to Darren about using Linux tomorrow. Here's what I don't understand with Linux. How will it help me in life? That is the question.
Right. That is always the case for the average user, which is why Linux hasn't conquered the desktop, is no one has given them the compelling reason to switch.
Yep.
Right? And one of the things is, well, it's a free operating system, right? So it's cheaper. But OS X comes free now, even though you pay for it because the hardware is more expensive. And Windows, essentially for most people feels free because you don't pay for it. You don't see it. It just comes on the machine when you buy it. So Linux laptops in particular are not pervasive enough to be significantly like, wow, I get that same machine for $100 less. It just doesn't end up having an effect that way.
Is there a compelling security argument? Because I'm scared enough about security that
no. If you want to be that Snowden distro from Linux is out of beta today. What's that called? Trail? Is that right? What is it called? Anyway, yes. I mean, you should never say any OS is more secure, because then somebody will have an exploit for it the next day. They all have exploits, but Linux tends to have fewer exploits, and it tends to be better about managing data in ways that allow you to secure it.
Okay. Well, that would be the compelling argument for me, because I just feel like, I don't totally feel like Mac has virus protection to my satisfaction. I don't feel like it has, I don't know. I don't feel safe anymore on the internet. How about that?
No, you shouldn't. You're saying it's a LibreOS, not a Linux? Yeah, Tails. Linux-based Tails is now out of beta. Oh, you're saying Libre instead of free. I get it.
Tails. Okay.
The problem is security and user-friendliness are almost at odds.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I would not sit here and say, yes, you should switch to Tails, because there are probably other things about it that are going to cause you to pull your hair out.
Welcome to life. Yes.
Right? It's that trade-off of like, yes, you can be more secure, but it's also not going to be as obvious and easy.
Yeah. What I really need, I think the answer is, I need a time machine that runs on a Mr. Fusion, where I can go back to like high school and learn to code, be one of the rare female coders of my particular generation, and then I'll be all set. That's my plan.
Yes, that's a great plan. You don't even need to go back in time, though. You could.
I know. I could go to the internet and learn.
You don't even need to learn to code to learn Linux. You just need to learn command line stuff. Like
right. I did command line stuff when I was in like 5th grade. That's the thing. Like
you just need to jump back in.
That's what you did, and then I went sort of front end user lazy. OpenBSD.
Well, she's sort of using OpenBSD already.
Really good at logo. Very skilled. Remember logo?
With the turtle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember logo. I scoffed at logo as a snotty little 12-year-old because I knew BASIC. I'm like, why would I use some kiddie language?
There was another program I used in middle school, and I don't know what it was, but it was basic graphical design coding, and I was able to build a working map of the New York subway system that went from stop to stop to stop. Like you could send it from stop to stop, and it also played Guns N' Roses, which I composed on the computer. So like there was a time when I knew my shiz, but I don't remember what the program was called.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was just some other like whatever you used in school in 1989 to do semi-graphical stuff, like whatever the next evolution of logo was for older people. But come on, Guns N' Roses played while you were on the subway? That was pretty cool.
For sure. All right. I need everyone to go to the FSL Tonight Kickstarter. We're 7 days to go, and we're $2,000 short of the goal.
Okay.
So if we want FSL Tonight Season 4 to happen, we need a little push.
All right.
To get us to the goal line.
Do we make that the plug of the day tomorrow?
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah, let's do that.
FSLtonight.com.
Yeah.
You'll see the link to the Kickstarter. FSLtonight.com.
FSLtonight.com. Okay.
2014 Kickstarter. Kickstarter is launched. They're all up there. It's just not quite going as fast as it did last year. Probably because a bunch of San Francisco Federation fans rioted on Rigel or something and then turned everyone against them. All right. We should stop this broadcast so that I can get the video to come down and I can get ready to go leave and get my haircut. But thanks for hanging around, everybody.
Yeah, thanks.
Good talking with everybody.
Okay, bye.
See you later. Bye.